Hello, guys and gals, and welcome back to Gold Rush Season 22 leaderboards. Let's take a look. Yeah, that's quiet. Okay. Let's take a look where we're at. As of right now, we are in 48 at 508.47 ounces. I did I just did I refilled everything? No. Okay. I think I refilled everything. Let's see. Did get no dirt there, get no dirt there, so this is full fuel. Okay, it's full fuel. So let's start taking. I gotta set up the map. Hey Excalibur, how are you? Good morning, afternoon, or evening, whatever the case may be for you. Have a wonderful, 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 wonderful day or evening or afternoon or hey Fuzzy. Okay, well, have a wonderful evening or night or the darkened sky. I don't know what you all call it down there. You could call it the midnight ride of Paul Revere. No, that's what we called it down here during the Revolutionary War. Uh, so, how's Fuzzy doing? And you had me thinking yesterday, Excalibur. I had to think to figure out what I was doing. It's all your fault. I'm here. I'm awake. My grandfather always told me it's always a good day when you wake up, because if not, that means you're underground. So, what did you do? You made that recipe for narcotics, and I had to figure out what the hell I was doing. And then I made bullets. I was playing Ark. You're not supposed to think during Ark. No, you're not supposed to think. That's a bad thing to think in Ark, because if you start thinking, then you start doing stupid stuff like dying. You know, hey, uh, okay. Uh, I know they are easy. It's just I was I played all during the day yesterday during the day yesterday, and then that evening I was playing Hydroneer, and then that got screwed up, and so I started playing Ark, and I just got so tired. I was tired. I had to think. I had to figure out what the heck am I doing. I don't know what I'm doing. So that's my excuse, and I'm sticking to it. And I'm a redhead, so I have a genius IQ, lots of common sense, and I don't know what that has to do with your recipe, and why I couldn't figure it out last night. But I wasn't awake. I'll admit it. I was not awake last night. I mean, I didn't stop streaming until after midnight last night. That's the longest stream I've done in quite a while. So give me a break. I'm just human. I'm sorry, Excalibur. Please don't make it any harder. Please. Oh, no, I'm just... Because I know you'll go ahead and update it and make it harder now. But just for me, I know that. I know what you will do, Excalibur. I see that little smile on your face, that little evil smile going, ha, I'll make it 1,000,000 times harder. Nah, you're a good man, Excalibur. I'm just messing with you. And right now, I think I'm messing with me, too. Uh, Nah, I love you. I love your things. I was kind of. I think my sugar was no. I ate before I came back. So I think. Um, Damn it! I'm trying to think and I can't think. Um, nah, I love you mods. It's just I get so used to this spoiled meat and arcoberry. That's as easy as you can get. 2 items, boom. But then you had to make one, then make another one, then you had to go get this, you had to go get that, I had to go get venom. And every time I was trying to tame a snake, I end up killing the snake. Wait a minute, is snakes passive tame or wild tame? I don't know. I'll figure that out. No, 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 no. Off. Now exit. Yay! Oops. Should not have gone that way. That's one thing I never tamed is a snake. I don't know why. I guess because I never needed the venom. Okay. Oh, I know. One thing I like about cracking bit of dinos, you get a femur. That's one of his dinos, it gives that protein meat, and that is great for the RG. Oh yeah, that's the best meat you can get for an RG. Not to tame, you can't tame it with that, but you can. Once you got it tamed, it heals up the RG so quick than prime meat does. I like Krakens. That's actually one of the best dino mods. Dino alteration, yeah, that's what I'm. Alteration mods I played. And I enjoy it. I don't think I can live without it now. Until another modder comes along. But uh, I was going to say something and I completely forgot what I was going to say. I just woke up. I didn't go to bed until 2 o'clock this morning, and it's 9:16 in the morning. So I didn't get my full 8 hours of sleep, and I have to think and talk at the same time. I can't do that. Demon? What's demon? Demon, 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 demon. Demon, demon, demon. I'm having so much fun. Well, I mean, I didn't get off. I streamed until after midnight, and I have to. When I get off, I have to take an hour or two just to let my mind rest. So I just sit and watch TV, and I also have to eat before I go to bed because I have a ton of pills I got to take in the evening at bedtime. So I got to have some food in my stomach, and I got to spend time with my dog. If I don't, she gets mad at me, and then if I don't pay attention to her, she gets mad at me. I think I need. Wait a minute. Is my lights working? They are. Why? Why? Oh, I need to move them. So, and yes, my dog is the boss of the house. She is. I mean, she really is. And her name is Princess. If you don't pay attention to her, she starts howling, and she has to be center of attention. Let's get this moved here. And my sister rescued a dog about last month, and his name is Floki. Okay, so we need to go right. Nope. His name is Floki, and he's a horse, and I mean a horse. He's a mixture of. His main thing is border collie, but he has pit bull. Um, he has like 7 different breeds, and he also has Great Dane in him. I mean, he's just a plain old mutt, but and he's huge, and he's a year old. He hasn't learned personal space yet. And when my sister and her husband goes to work, she leaves the dog outside her bedroom. And for some reason, if I leave my bedroom door open, I mean, they go to work about 6:30, 7 o'clock in the morning, and he'll come running up, hop on top of me, and then sleep with me the rest of the night. And anytime he's in danger, he comes hiding underneath my desk. But but my dog is a German Shepherd mix, but she's a medium-sized dog, not a large dog, like Floki is. And both of them are fixed, thank God. But that dog, when Floki first came, he was trying to show dominance, and Princess put him in his place, and he's like, okay, I'll just be a puppy. I mean, he was totally shocked that Princess was able to put him in his place. And what was funny was one day I went to go take a nap in the middle of the afternoon. I had to lie down in my bed because I wasn't feeling 100%. And he was in my room, and I went to go lie down. I took my pants off, and then I took my leg off, and he backed up about 3 steps, and just freaked out when I when I took my leg off, and he was like, "Huh? Wait a minute! Humans aren't supposed to be able to do that." I love dogs. I love animals. I guess I just have a way with animals. When I was young, yeah, well, I was young then, but when I was in my when I was 15, and even after I lived in Frederick, Maryland, on the base of the Catoctin Mountains, and there's a park on top of the mountain, and I went down one of the hiking trails, and I went a little off the trail, and found this beautiful rock ledge that overlooked on top of the mountain that overlooked Middletown Valley, and you can see the mountain, see the valley, and then it goes up, and you can see the rest of the mountain range, and it looks like it goes on forever. And it was a nice, peaceful. It was a good place for me to just to unwind, relax, and it's a nice place to think. And one time I went up there, and I was just looking out, thinking, and all of a sudden this squirrel came up, sat down right beside me, looked up at me, looked out what I was looking at, looked back up at me, and I went, "Hey, how you doing?" I'm like, "Okay, whatever." Then about 15 minutes later, all of a sudden I felt this breath behind on my neck. It was middle of the summertime. Felt this hot breath out on the back of my neck. It kind of startled me. And I looked behind me. There was a deer, and he sniffed me. Oh no, yeah, it was a buck, and he sniffed me, and I'm like, okay. And then he just stayed there, and he kind of was checking me out, trying to figure out what the hell I was doing. Uh, I was like, hey, dude, how you? I'm doing good. How about you? I've always had a way with animals. Um, I guess I'm lucky. I had a friend who was a Maryland State Trooper canine officer. Yeah, I had a friend who was a canine officer um, for the Maryland State Police, and I was a paid firefighter for DC, but I volunteered. I lived in Frederick, Maryland, and I volunteered for a while. I volunteered until I moved out of Frederick. I volunteered since I volunteered all the time. Even when I wasn't working as a firefighter paramedic, I volunteered either as a firefighter or both. And we were at this wreck at 3 o'clock in the morning, and he was the first trooper on the scene. Well, he's setting up flare patterns, and he accidentally blocked the ambulance. I'm like, yeah, but he seemed to have he accidentally blocked the ambulance in when he did it, and I yelled at him, "Hey, can I move your car?" He's like, because he was in the middle. He couldn't leave where he was at when he was directing the traffic. I'm like, dude, you need to move your car. He said, oh, go ahead, move the car for me. I'm like, okay, no problem. So I hopped in the back, backed up the car, backed up the trooper's car, well, so the ambulance can get out. And his dog just started breathing on this because he had that little pass window, and that dog started looking at me, and he came running over because he forgot that he left the window open, and he was afraid that the dog was going to bite me, and he's like, his jaw just dropped when he came to the window and saw the dog was licking me, and he's like, that's the first time I've ever seen that dog do that to us, because I never met his dog. And he's like, that's the first time I ever seen a dog do that. He said, anytime that anybody gets near the car, he starts barking like crazy and all that. I'm like, well, he did that when I first came in. I just hopped in the car and told him, hey, it's okay, dude. Just move in the car. And then he just started licking me. I'm like, okay, he must really trust you. I've always had a good rapport. In Frederick, yeah, there's a truck stop in Frederick. Yeah, there is a truck stop in Frederick. Um, right off of right off of Interstate 70. Because Interstate 70 goes through Frederick. You get Interstate 270 that goes through Frederick. You get US Route 15 that goes through Frederick. You get US Route 340 that went through Frederick. So you got all these routes coming right in, and there's a truck stop right off of Interstate 70 in Frederick, and it's a big truck stop, and As a matter of fact, we had a hazmat incident once there. I spent 3 days. I don't. It might be because the place that truck stop was huge, and I spent 3 days there once because a truck parked overnight and another truck bumped it, and the truck had chemicals in it, and all of a sudden it started smoking and all that. And I was there for a hazmat incident for 3 days. It was so fun. And the sad part was that all 3 days it rained. Ah, okay. So you and I somewhere along the line have crossed paths in two different states. Actually, we know two different areas, and it's amazing how small the world is. Ah, okay. I had friends that lived there, but we kind of lost touch. That's the sad part when you move around. I mean, I lived there for my teens. I lived there. We moved there from my father was a minister, so we moved around a lot when I was a kid, and we moved there when I was 13 from Fulton, New York, off of Lake Ontario, and and moved there when I was 13. Yeah, and I lived there until I was in my 30s, and the fire chief of Norfolk Fire Department uh, actually came down, offered me a job working for his department. Yeah. Well, see, the sad part when I lived in Frederick, because we moved, it was like my father's fifth. It was the fifth time we moved, and every time I started making friends, we were moving. So we moved to Frederick, and I didn't make any friends. I just didn't do anything for the first couple years, and because I didn't want to lose any more friends. And my father did a stupid thing. He stayed. He didn't want to move no more. That was the church. He's not going to move no more, and all that. But and as of right now, I have no friends. All my friends, once I were all in the fire business, and once I became disabled, they just stopped. I tried calling them, leave messages. They wouldn't return phone calls, and I mean every one of them. And you know what the funny part was? My father was a DI in the Marine Corps back in the early 60s. And he met my mom, and my mom refused. I mean, they dated, but my mom did not want to marry a military man. So my father, because she didn't want to move around the country, because her father was an army. She was an army brat, and she didn't want to move around the country. So my father actually got out of the Marine Corps, and yeah, my father my father got out of the Marine Corps. After his let's see, he did 12. Yeah, he did 12 years in the Marine Corps and got out. Hey Brian, long time no see. How you? But he got out of the Marine Corps. My mother did not want to marry him because she didn't want to move around a lot. And a couple years later, he went to Minnesota. He ended up becoming a pastor, and all of a sudden we started moving around the countryside because my mother did not want to move. She wanted to stay in one place, raise a family. That's all she wanted to do. Sometimes I think ministers are worse than military. Worse than military because you move. I think you move around more than you do in the military. But I mean, life is funny. So, Brian, how is your mowing company doing? How's everything upstate? Yeah. Yeah, I had a friend. Um, not a friend. I had a partner, and her father was in the military, and she'd been all over the world. She was in Japan, Germany, um, Philippines. I mean, they were moving him all over from one base to another base, and he always brought his family when she was growing up. And she spoke Japanese, Tagalog, German. Yeah, when she was young, she was in the Philippines, so she learned Tagalog. Oh, that's good. That's good, Brian. But every base when she was young, every base that they went to, she learned the language in school when she was going to school there. And I'm like, okay, that's interesting. So she spoke four languages. I'm like, why the hell are you a paramedic if you can? And she also spoke Spanish, so it's five languages is what she spoke. I'm glad your business is doing good, Brian. But she spoke 5 languages. I'm like, why are you a paramedic here in, where was it? Oh no, that was when I was in Palm Beach County, when I was working for Palm Beach County Fire. I'm like, why are you speaking 5 languages and you're a paramedic? Why don't you go work and use your language skills and make more money? Um, yeah, her father, what was her father? No, her father was an army doctor, and he was on a mash. He was in a mash unit. That's why she became a paramedic, because her father was a doctor, and she actually ended up becoming a doctor. She's a doctor now, but when she was my partner, she was like in her early 20s, and when she was taking pre-med. She was pre-med, so she was going to school and working as taking all the, doing her pre-med stuff before she went to college before she went to become school for a doctor. So that's why she was a paramedic. And no, she became a doctor, and she actually ended up after she became a doctor, she ended up becoming she actually ended up joining the army. She joined the army and became an army doctor like her dad. And her dad told, because she originally wanted to go ahead and join the army, and um, she wanted to she wanted to join the army as a medic, and then go to school and then become a doctor. And he's like, no, 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 no. If you want to join the army as a doctor, become a doctor first. Do not go in as a medic, because you might not become a doctor. But I mean, she was intelligent. She was a great medic. And we actually, her and I actually connected. It was one time we had a cardiac arrest, and we called for an engine assist, and we were in another station's area. So there was a couple guys. The guy in the back that was helping us do CPR while we were doing everything. We got to the hospital, and the guy he's like, I've been on this department now for 10 years. You're the first 2 medics I've ever seen that never talked to each other, but you knew what each other was doing the whole time. I mean, we didn't have to say, hey, let's do this, let's do that. We just knew what we were doing. It was like we could read each other's mind. She was a great medic. I mean, we got along great. It was just one of these people that she's one of these people that was easy to go. think she was great. So, Brian, are you making millions of dollars cutting all that grass? Because I know it's been wet up in that area. Oh, yeah. Uh, and in South Florida, we had a lot of Cubans that didn't speak English. And my partner was the first time her and I worked together. She spoke Spanish. I didn't speak Spanish. And we had this one patient didn't speak English, and I was the one. It was my turn to be the do patient care that day, and she was totally amazed. I could figure out what that person was saying and how I could communicate with that person without speaking their language. I'm like, it's easy. You just stay there, be calm. And just talk to them nice and calmly. Don't talk to them like they're speaking like they don't speak your English slowly. I am doing that. You don't do that. You just speak normally. Just talk to them. Do a little body, use your hands, and just talk to them. You'd be amazed how you can communicate with people. My ex-wife, she was from Peru, and she spoke English. She hated people like that, that come to this country, live in this country, and don't bother learning the English language. Because one time we were walking in the mall, we went shopping in the mall together, and we went in this one store, and this lady saw my wife and asked her if she spoke Spanish, and she said yeah, and she wanted she wanted her to translate for her, wanted her to translate so she could talk to the sales rep in the store, and she did it. But the rest of the day, she was so mad. And I'm like, why? I mean, they're immigrants. Yes, you should learn the language of the country that you go to. I mean, when I was younger, I dated this Filipino, and we were getting ready to get married, and we were going to go to Philippines to get married, so her family could see us get married. And she taught me Tagalog, so I could speak to her family. So I learned the language before I went to the country, and I was unfortunately I never got there. No, I did go there. I went there for her funeral. She died in an airplane crash. When she went there, she went ahead of me so she could get ahead I didn't have enough vacation time where I was at, and I wasn't senior enough, so she went up a week early before I did. But there's a lot of things. I mean, people in other countries get mad at Americans because they go on vacation and expect everybody go on vacation in different countries, and they expect they expect everybody in the world to be able to speak English. And no, you go to a foreign country, you better know the language or have a good translator with you. Yes, we're digging. We're going to be processing some dirt. And I'm going to have to move some trucks. I'm going to have to move some trucks around. I don't know. Can I reach that one? Oh, I can. Okay. We got 4 trucks. Appreciate the likes, guys. Oh, I'm not gonna live stream as long as I did last night. Nope. Definitely not gonna live stream as long as I did last night. No. No, 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 no. Come on. Come on. There you go. I might have to do I know what I need to do on Arc. Uh, we're just digging here. Digging, digging, digging. And I don't know. Last night when I checked, this game is still on sale on Steam. And it's actually not that bad. but we're just digging. Where are we? 99. Yay, I got a full bucket out of that. Nah, I didn't get a full bucket, but okay, now I need to start. Yeah, I'm gonna have to do this. Yeah, I'm gonna have to start doing that. This should, I didn't get everything, but that should be enough to make that 100%. Nope, didn't make 1%. Oh well. That's the wrong way. That should be 100%. Am I not streaming? I need to test something. I need to do a speed test. Well, it's working. Open widget. Error. You're not receiving enough video. Okay. Why? I went from poor to excellent. Why is that doing that? Why? Why is that doing that? It shouldn't be doing that. Oh, now it's excellent. YouTube, you're being fickle. I got a little dirt. There we go. We're gonna go ahead. Fill this truck up. I'm gonna have to stop and restart the stream again. Hang on a second, guys.